This is Houston Sports Talk back another video today, and today the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 110 to 103, and this was a great game for the Lakers. Anthony Davis had what people are reacting to his performance, an MVP type performance. Lakers fans calling Anthony Davis MVP late in the game at the free throw line. But he didn't just look like he could be an MVP candidate in this game. He looked like he can be a defensive player of the year candidate. Had 3 blocks, had 1 steal as well. The main thing for AD in this game was that he had 36 and 16 and 4 assists as well. Shot 11 for 23, knocked down a tray, got to the free throw line, made shots at the free throw line, going 13 from 15. But I think a big thing for me, at least, was how good he was defensively in this game. 3 blocks, 1 steal. And a big problem for Anthony Davis last year at the end of the year was how he did not win Defensive Player of the Year, and Rudy Gobert did. So going up against Rudy Gobert tonight, no disrespect to Gobert, I actually thought Gobert had a great game, not just defensively. Like, Gobert was great offensively as well. Shot 5 for 8, was doing good things offensively. Got rebounds 13 and 14, double-double for Gobert. Didn't expect any less from him, or really any more. But I think the key thing comparing Davis and Gobert in this game was that Davis was way better than Gobert defensively in this game. Davis was everywhere defensively in this game. And Gobert was good defensively too. He had a block. He did some other good defensive things in this game, but Davis was way better defensively in this game. And honestly, if I had to go back and look at last year, I would say not letting both of these guys' performances from tonight, try to change the decision. But honestly, looking back on last season, I think that Davis probably deserved Defensive Player of the Year over Rudy Gobert. My pick for Defensive Player of the Year was Rudy Gobert, and if AD can keep it up, my prediction will be wrong. But great game for him. Great, I'm not going to say great game as a team for the Lakers, but the Lakers did good things in this basketball game, and I think the one thing I can say about the Lakers as a team in this game tonight is the fact that they went out there and beat a Timberwolves team, a good Timberwolves team that has a superstar like Anthony Edwards, who had a good game tonight, 27 points, 10 for 25, 5 for 13 from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. You have other great players like Gobert, who's such a good player defensively. You have such a great point guard in Mike Conley, who wasn't really showing that offensively in this game tonight, but still. We have Randall, you have McDaniels, who's another great defensive player. You have Naz Reid, who was the 6th Man of the Year last year, won the 6th Man of the Year award. You have Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench, who's just a stud. Adding in Dante DiVincenzo, who showed some good things in his first game as a Timberwolves tonight. This is a good team for Minnesota. We did not see either one of the rookies, first-round picks, Terrence Shannon or Rob Dillingham. As long as this Timberwolves team stays healthy, I imagine we won't see those two guys a whole lot, with having DiVincenzo, Alexander Walker, Joe Ingles, and Naz Reid all coming off the bench, unless they go to a 10-man rotation. I don't see any of the rookies playing in the meantime. But this is still a good Minnesota team, and the Lakers still ended up beating them. They were at one point for most of the game, early on in the game, second, third quarter, they were killing the Timberwolves in this game. And I look at it, and outside of Davis having a monster performance and Rui Hachimura doing a fantastic job for the Lakers, there was a struggle for this Lakers team tonight. 3-point shooting was a very terrible thing for this Lakers team tonight. 5 for 30 as a team. I look at D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves shot a combined 1 for 12 from 3. They're 2 best 3-point shooters. I'm not trying to say anything bad. I know it's only one game from the team as looking at a team as the 3-point shooting, and the two best 3-point shooters in Russell and Reeves, but if the Lakers shoot this bad from 3 in one game, and you have you're arguably one of your best players, some will say their best player, LeBron James, kind of struggle. I mean, LeBron was solid. Scored 16 points, 5 rebounds, four assists, had 2 blocks, shot 7 for 16. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. LeBron wasn't at the highest level he could be at. So if they're still able to beat a Minnesota Timberwolves team, who I think has a lot of potential this year, so if you're still able to beat a Minnesota Timberwolves team, meanwhile you have a horrendous 3-point shooting night as a team and 2 of your best 3-point shooters, LeBron has a bad night, and the Lakers still end up winning. I think that's a good thing about their team. Not to mention that they're kind of filled with injuries, having a guy like Jared Vanderbilt injured. Also have a guy like Christian Wood injured. So they're filled with injuries, and I feel like for the Lakers to start off this season with a W against a good Timberwolves team, a very good defensive team, one of the NBA's best defensive teams last season, while you have honestly what could be, even though it's game one, could end up being one of their worst 3-point shooting nights of the season. Like it can't get much worse than 16.7% from three. So at the end of the year, this very well could possibly be. Honestly, it could get worse, but I doubt it. This could be probably the Lakers' worst 3-point shooting night of the season, even though it's game one. And so even though they have a horrendous 3-point shooting night, LeBron didn't play to his best ability, and the Lakers still win against a good Minnesota team. I think that says a lot about the Lakers. I'm not going to go ahead and say the Lakers, game one they're going to win a championship. I don't think that right now, at least one game in, I don't think the Lakers are at the point where I'd say they're a top 4 team. But I watched this Lakers team tonight. I watched the way Anthony Davis played. I loved what I saw from Rui, and I saw what saw what I saw from Austin Reeves, who looked phenomenal. Outside of the 0 for 5 3-point shooting, Austin Reeves was a dog tonight. He went out there and got 9 rebounds. Austin Reeves, this is an underrated stat. 4 offensive rebounds for Austin Reeves in this basketball game tonight. Still scored 12 points despite the poor 3-point shooting. So Austin Reeves, one steal, one block. Austin Reeves had a great game tonight outside of the poor 3-point shooting. I expect that to pick up for him. D'Lo, outside of his poor 3-point shooting, outside of him shooting poor from 3 in this game, shot 3 for 5. So scored 9 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. So D'Lo didn't look incredible, but both Reeves and D'Lo looked very nice outside of their 3-point shooting. So if those two guys can pick it up and LeBron can start playing to his best ability, and Davis continues to do what he's doing, and Rui as well, this Lakers team is a lot better than they were last year with having the leader of JJ Redick. I'm gonna say this right now: Lakers keep this up. If you do some of the things they did, if they do some of the things they did in this game tonight, like 80's dominant offensive and defensive performance, Rui playing the way he played, Austin Reeves being aggressive the way he was, Jackson Hayes doing some great things off the bench, I would say getting a little bit healthy, like getting Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood back, maybe getting Dalton Kennett a little bit more comfortable, getting LeBron James to play the basketball he needs to play, and having Austin Reeves and D'Lo shoot to their best abilities. This Lakers team is a lot better than the way they look tonight, and they still look solid outside of the LeBron struggles, the 3-point struggles as a team, the 3-point struggles from Russell and Reeves. This was still a good performance from the Lakers, and just game one, a little bit of an overreaction, but this is the best Lakers team. I think we're going to see the best Lakers team since the NBA championship in the 2019-20 season. I don't think we're going to see as good as a team this year from the Lakers in the 2024-25 season as we did in that 2019-20 season. My point is these last couple years since that championship, the 2020-21 season, the Lakers were the 7th seed. The 2021-22 season, with Russell Westbrook, AD, and LeBron, the Lakers didn't even make the play-in. The next year, the Lakers did have the Lakers did have success in the playoffs, making it to the Western Conference Finals, but in the regular season, the Lakers were the 7 seed again. Last year, the Lakers were the 7 seed yet again. So it's a bunch of 7 and it's a bunch of 7 and 8 seeds for this Lakers team. And it's been that way since they won the championship. I think that this year could be the year it changes for them, and maybe they get into a top 6 seed. The most I see for the Lakers this year is a 6 or 5 seed. But I think if you look at the previous years of the stress of being outsider or just inside the play-in for the Lakers, that stress that would be away if you're a 6 or 5 seed. So it's not a top team in the Western Conference, but you sure as hell don't have to deal with the stress of the play-in, and that'd be a big step for the Lakers, a step they wouldn't, they haven't had since they won a championship in the 2019-20 season. But if they can pick some things up, I think they could be in that direction. But it's very early on. But I want to go over some stats. Anthony Davis, like I mentioned, was terrific. I went over his stats. I did kind of glimmer a little bit over Rui's stats. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. He was great defensively. Look, outside of AD, one of the biggest reasons why the Lakers were able to play so well in this game was defensively. 7 steals, 8 blocks. It wasn't just AD. AD sure had 1 steal, 3 blocks, but Rui had 2 steals and 1 block. James had 2 blocks. 2 steals for Russell, 1 steal and 1 block for Reeves, 1 block for Jackson Hayes. Who else am I missing? 1 steal for Dalton Kennett. So defensively, great performance for this Lakers team. And I think defensively, this could be a way better Lakers team than we've seen in years prior. I did go over D'Lo's stats. I kind of went over Reeves' stats. How he was a beast with rebounding and mainly offensive rebounding in this game. Was good defensively. Obviously struggled with his 3-ball. Same thing with D'Lo, went over his stats. LeBron, 16, 4, and 5, 7 for 16, 1 for 4, breaks NBA history, being the first NBA player to play with his son. I guess this is the point where I get into Bronny James. I'm not going to give it too much attention as it already has had. I'm not going to hate on Bronny or LeBron. It's history. We've just witnessed history. But honestly, I was hoping this would happen. I was hoping Bronny would play in the first game. So just like the Lakers wanted it to happen, you get it over with. Bronny and LeBron check in together. They play, they play with each other in the game for the first time, break that history, and we don't have to deal with this again. Bronny for sure can play again this season. I'm not saying just send Bronny to the G League and never see him again. Bronny should get some more playing time this season, but it's not going to be talked about. If anybody is suggesting Bronny to get playing time at this time, now that he's finally played his minutes, he's got those first minutes, he's played with his father for the first time, I don't know what to say because this kid's not ready. I think if he's not with the G League and he's with the current Lakers team, and God forbid the Lakers are given a whooping on a team, or I'm sure they don't want this to happen, but it could happen. The Lakers get their butts smoked, and Bronny's with the team. That's the time to give Bronny some minutes. Try to let him develop as a player. But there is no need for him to get minutes in a meaningful game when it's close or anything like that. Or honestly, for him to be playing with his dad. If you're going to see Bronny on the floor, it's going to be with some of the other bench players in a blowout situation, something like that, not with LeBron. So that's why you got that over with. I understand. Going to go over what he did. I mean, he got a rebound. He took 2 shots. He missed a 3. I will say it was a good look. It was a good look, and it nearly went in. It was a good shot. I'll give Bronny that. It was a good shot. Good look. Didn't fall. They did give him a shot attempt for when he got the rebound, trying to put it back up. I'm going to give Bronny an excuse that for a 6'1" rookie in his first game, who honestly is not really supposed to be at this level at this time, to have to go up against Rudy Gobert in the paint, that is not fair at all. So I don't think Bronny really ever had a chance to score in the paint against Rudy Gobert. But shout out the kid for trying in his first shot attempt. But he did. I didn't expect too much from Bronny tonight. I think I did make a prediction for him. I said that my prediction for Bronny was tonight that I said he was going to get a rebound. I expected it to be a defensive rebound and not an offensive rebound, though. And I thought ultimately what they would try to do was for Bronny to score his first bucket. First I said they're going to try to get him his first bucket, and of course it's going to be LeBron that's passing the ball. Probably will be like a layup or a three where, you try to get Bronny the ball. He's going to miss it, and I think I know what I said after. I said once he misses the shot, what they'll do is they'll have Bronny throw a lob to LeBron, and then take him out of the ballgame. That didn't happen. We didn't see Bronny throw a lob to LeBron, although if that happened, it would have been everywhere. And honestly, I thought that, okay, if they try to go with the route of LeBron getting Bronny a bucket, that's not going to work. I thought that they would try something like a Bronny pass to LeBron and LeBron shoots a three, or a Bronny to LeBron, maybe pick and roll, just lob. And we didn't see that, but it was a cool moment, but shouldn't see too much more of it. Any of the other Lakers scoring, Jackson Hayes, I thought he was phenomenal in this game. 4 for 5, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and only 15 minutes, had a block, like I mentioned. Really impressive for Jackson Hayes in this game, and should be a good backup. And as I thought in this game, I thought we would see some of Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis on the floor together. With Anthony Davis playing so many minutes, Anthony Davis playing 38 minutes in this ball game, meaning he's only off the floor for 10. Jackson Hayes is a solid center. You want to get him on the floor as much as you can, and you want to give AD more opportunities to play at the 4, as we've seen in his career. We saw AD play at the 4 in the 2019-20 season when the Lakers had JaVale McGee and they had Dwight Howard. We saw it in New Orleans when New Orleans had DeMarcus Cousins. So I think for them to get Jackson Hayes on the floor with Anthony Davis is going to be really nice, and I expected it to happen. We did see it a little bit. Jackson Hayes played 15 minutes. Davis only sat for 10 minutes, so I'm pretty sure we saw them on the floor for about 4 or 5 minutes together, and that was really good, and I think that's going to make Anthony Davis maybe a better player. And I think Jackson Hayes, my just early prediction, I think Jackson Hayes could have a really solid season for the Lakers, and if he could keep it up, we've been hearing about the Lakers in shop of a center. Maybe the Lakers might not be in pursuit of a center anymore, but he's going to have to for sure keep this up. Max Christie, 11 minutes, went 0 for 3, 0 for 3 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 points. Dalton Kennett, a very solid rookie debut. And I still don't think this kid's comfortable. 5 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 2 for 4 in 16 minutes, 1 for 3 from 3. He looks great. And I still don't think he's comfortable. I think he can still become a better player. You can still find ways to to get him more comfortable on the floor. I think he's going to have a terrific season. I remember I said in a video earlier today that, in a season prediction video, that I think one of my favorites to win Rookie of the Year outside of Houston's Reed Shepherd this season is Dalton Kennett, because he's going to have to do some great things off the bench for this Lakers team this year in order for them to have success off the bench. Another player off the bench, another guard, Gabe Vincent, 17 minutes, 1 for 2, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, so kind of 2s of everything. Even had 2 turnovers. That's not a 2 you want, but was getting some good 2s with rebounds, assists, and points in 17 minutes. Also took 2 shots. And that was really it for the Lakers scoring. I want to go over to Minnesota real quick. 27 for Ant, as I mentioned. 13 and 14 for Gobert, as I mentioned. 16 and 9 for Randall in his debut. 4 assists for Randall. 5 for 10 from the floor for Randall. 6 points for McDaniels. He got in some foul trouble in this one. 5 personal fouls, limited to only 16 minutes. So hopefully you see him, play a little bit better in Minnesota's next game against Sacramento. Mike Conley, like I mentioned, struggled. He only played 20 minutes. So Dante McDaniels being in foul trouble And Conley struggling in this game and being on a minute restriction really opened up minutes for Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Dante DiVincenzo. And those two guys were playing way better than McDaniels and Conley were, so that's why they were getting more minutes. Now, Reed looked really good. I expected him to, just continue to play good basketball after they got rid of Cat. Speaking the fact that he was the sixth man of the year last year, now you get rid of Cat. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Joe Ingles, 7 minutes, only took 1 shot, 1 assist. He's gonna continue to get low minutes, but he's a nice veteran addition. Dante DiVincenzo, like I mentioned, 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 for 11. 14 points for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like I mentioned, 5 for 7 from the floor, 3 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section. Great win for the Lakers. I wouldn't freak out too much about Minnesota here. It's kind of a new team. Like, there's a lot of guys still on the roster from last year's team. You still got Conley, you still got Gobert, you still have McDaniels, and you still have Edwards, and you still have Naz Reid. But someone who played 7 minutes in Joe Ingles is a new addition. Dante DiVincenzo played 32 minutes in this game. Julius Randle played 34. Those are 2 guys new to the team. They only got to play a couple of preseason games with each other, so I think it's going to take them a little bit to get in sync because this is a trade. The cat trade, what we saw, was a trade that happened a little bit after the start of training camp. So I expect for it to take a couple games for Minnesota to get in sync as a team and start to build their chemistry. As Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley and Jaden McDaniels and some of the other players from their team last year have a couple new teammates like Joe Ingles, Dante DiVincenzo, and Julius Randle. I think they're going to figure it out, but I think it's going to take, maybe in the area of 5 to 10 games to maybe see Minnesota's full potential. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out.